As a former police officer and the widow of a cop, her initial instinct was to support the law, though past experiences with corrupt officers like the Brotherhood of the Blue Fist taught her how law enforcement can abuse power. She also recalls her identity as one of the Cat People, a group hunted and banished to another dimension simply because normal humans feared them for being different. Balancing her respect for the law against the threat of persecution, she admits that a deeper, specific realization ultimately shifted her stance on the conflict. She explains that she had no knowledge of Iron Man and the others creating a clone of Thor, calling the decision reckless. Though she did not know Bill Foster well, she recognized him as a good man and viewed his death as a devastating tragedy. Watching Goliath get struck down by the Thor clone shocked her deeply, leaving her in utter disbelief as he fell. Goliath's fall reminded her of the murder of her late husband, William, years prior. While out on a date night, William, an off-duty police officer, tried to step in and stop a robbery. He managed to handle the first criminal, but was shot and killed by an unseen accomplice. She sees a direct parallel between her husband and Bill Foster. Both were good men who stepped up to help when they didn't have to, only to lose their lives for doing the right thing. Realizing this, she refuses to remain complicit in a conflict that costs good people their lives. Tigra meets Captain America to switch sides following Bill Foster's death, though Cap remains cautious due to security risks. Wolverine uses his enhanced animal senses, monitoring her heartbeat, tone, and body language, and confirms to Cap that she is sincere. Cap accepts Tigra into the Secret Avengers, acknowledging her sacrifice, while Tigra reassures him she is well suited to operating underground. Later that night, Ms. Marvel flies uptown to meet Tigra, in her human form as Greer Nelson, in private. Tigra confirms she successfully joined Captain America's resistance, explaining that she didn't trick Wolverine's senses. Everything she told Cap was genuine, but she omitted her ultimate belief that the pro-registration side will result in less bloodshed. Carol warns her that once this war ends, heroes on both sides will hate or distrust her for acting as a mole. Tigra accepts the burden, stating she can live with it if it prevents more death. Luke Cage reveals that Danny Rand, having retired as Iron Fist due to the Registration Act, learned through his corporate ties that Roxxon is up to something suspicious. Luke shows her a photo, which Tigra immediately recognizes. The intel reveals images of her original suit from when she operated as the Cat, alongside the very machinery that initially gave her powers. Luke Cage explains that Roxxon acquired the technology to build an army of enhanced soldiers, easily getting government clearance amid the rush to enforce the Registration Act. Tigra warns that the process, originally created by Mal Donalbain, isn't just a super soldier program, but includes built-in mind control. She recalls how Donalbain's reckless experiments killed the first test subject before she stopped him, leading to his suicide. Realizing the threat of mind-controlled soldiers, Captain America decides to send a small strike team to destroy the machinery, document evidence, and leak Roxxon's illegal operations to the media. Cap outlines a simple plan. Cloak will teleport the team, including Hercules, Dagger, Luke Cage, Tigra, and himself, into the upstate facility, where Tigra will identify the critical equipment to destroy. He instructs the team to destroy everything, avoid unnecessary harm to security or mind-controlled personnel, and evacuate via Cloak as soon as law enforcement arrives to prevent an unwanted clash with authorities. After Hercules eagerly approves of the destruction, Cap gives the order to assemble, and Cloak teleports the team straight into action. Cloak teleports the team into the upstate New York facility, but collapses from strain, explaining that an anti-teleporter disruptor field is active. Dagger uses her light powers to help heal him. Tigra points Hercules toward the large chamber capsules, identifying them as the type of machinery originally used to give her powers, and Hercules eagerly smashes one. As Tigra contemplates what would happen if Roxxon had already completed their process before their arrival, a mysterious voice interrupts her to reveal that they already finished. Roxxon's newly created soldiers, wearing suits based on Tigra's original The Cat design, attack the heroes, mockingly calling themselves Tigra's littermates. Tigra urges them to surrender so their mind control can be reversed, but one attacker reveals they aren't mind controlled at all. Mind control slows reflexes, so they are participating willingly simply because Roxxon pays them well. Captain America, Luke Cage, Hercules, and Tigra engage in direct combat with the armed squad of cat-suited operatives. Tigra expresses disbelief that the transformation procedure was completed so quickly, noting the original method took several weeks while this facility has only been open for 2. The operative mocks Tigra, claiming Roxxon improved the technology since the Dark Ages, prompting Tigra to deliver a sharp kick. After taking a slash across her face from the opponent's claws, Tigra becomes enraged, startling the operative with her intense savagery. Enraged, Tigra pounces on her attacker, while Captain America and Hercules easily toss aside the remaining soldiers. Captain America realizes that the soldiers are merely stalling them until Iron Man's pro-registration forces arrive as backup. At Roxxon corporate headquarters in Manhattan, Vice President Dario Agger observes the battle, noting that proving these cat soldiers can stand up to the Avengers will secure them a lucrative government contract. Impressed by Tigra's instincts, he resolves to hire her after breaking her. Tigra easily subdues her opponent by holding her by the hair, pointing out that while her original tech as the cat was good, it pales in comparison to her true power as a mystical, genuine werewoman. Musing that her opponents are mere house pets, she terrifies the other guards, who panic thinking she killed their teammate. Tigra clarifies that she spared her life only because blood is hard to wash out of her fur, before leaping at the rest of the mercenaries to finish the fight. As Tigra notices smoke rising from one of the soldiers, the operative spontaneously bursts into flames, screaming in agony. Tigra realizes Roxxon rushed the enhancement process. While the technology was fast-tracked, human bodies couldn't withstand the sudden power without proper biological preparation, causing their cells to consume them. Hercules asks if anything can be done to save the burning subjects, but Luke Cage and Tigra grimly conclude there is no way to help them, leaving the team to watch in horror. Furious over the loss of life, Tigra shouts directly at a security camera, promising Roxxon that she will find out how they acquired her tech and make them pay. Watching the feed from his office, Dario Agger casually turns off the monitor, resolving to scapegoat an underling for the disaster, and noting he should invest in more established intellectual property next time. Outside, Ms. Marvel's voice echoes over an announcement system, warning the facility that the Avengers have arrived to respond to superhuman violence, signaling that Iron Man's forces are closing in on Cap's team. As Iron Man's team approaches, Cloak recovers enough to teleport the secret Avengers to safety, but Tigra insists on staying behind to finish destroying the tech so it cannot be recovered. Over the comms, Ms. Marvel contacts Tigra, unaware that she was with Cap's team, and orders her to secure the facility and preserve forensics before the pro-registration forces arrive. Tigra confirms Ms. Marvel's orders while picking up an energy weapon and firing directly at the remaining machinery, blowing it up to ensure Roxxon's experiment is completely wiped out. Ms. Marvel arrives on scene as the Roxxon facility erupts into flames, instructing the Avengers Quinjet to extinguish the fire while she searches the area for survivors. Carol meets Tigra in the nearby woods and asks what happened. When Tigra claims the machinery blew up accidentally during battle, Carol immediately calls out her lie. Tigra admits she torched the lab intentionally, arguing that the technology was far too dangerous for anyone, especially Roxxon, to possess. Frustrated that Tigra destroyed crucial evidence and questioning whose side she is truly on, Carol demands answers, prompting Tigra to passionately declare she is on the side where nobody dies. Tigra reveals a deep secret to Carol. When her husband William died, she was heartbroken, but also secretly felt relieved. He wanted her in a traditional, submissive role that left her feeling suffocated. When Carol comforts her, Tigra refuses pity, clarifying that William was still a good man who gave his life to protect others, just like Bill Foster. Tigra reaffirms that while she supports Carol's side to minimize overall bloodshed, she will do whatever it takes to prevent harm, whether that means helping Cap or Carol. She challenges Carol to lock her up in the Negative Zone prison if she has an issue with her methods. Carol tells Tigra she understands her position, though she warns that many others will not, advising her to keep her personal confession to herself. As Ms. Marvel flies off, Captain America contacts Tigra over comms to check if she made it out safely after seeing the facility explode. Tigra confirms to Cap that she got clear in time, telling him she is taking a roundabout way back to headquarters to avoid being followed. Standing alone before the burning ruins of the Roxxon lab, Tigra softly reassures Cap that everything's fine.